Rowan. Sebastian Atkinson was born on January 6, 1955, in County Durham, England, the youngest of four sons in a family that valued education, self-discipline, and perseverance. Growing up on a farm surrounded by open fields and structured routines, he learned early the importance of responsibility and focus. Life at home was steady, shaped by a caring but firm household, and though the world outside seemed vast and unpredictable, Rowan's early years were marked by quiet observation and curiosity. From a young age, he displayed intelligence and a deep awareness of the world around him, traits that would guide him through challenges later in life. A childhood challenge. Around the age of 5, Rowan developed a stutter that made speaking in front of others a challenge. Simple conversations required effort and attention, and expressing himself in classrooms or social settings was often daunting. Though his words sometimes faltered, his mind was active and alert, always observing and learning from his environment. In many ways, this challenge shaped the way he approached communication, giving him a sensitivity to nuance, timing, and expression that would later become central to his work in comedy. The stage as sanctuary. While daily conversation could feel difficult, Rowan discovered that when he performed, his speech flowed more easily. Whether reciting lines or embodying a character, the anxiety that usually accompanied speaking seemed to ease. Acting offered a sense of liberation, a way to express thoughts and emotions through presence, movement, and expression rather than words alone. This early discovery planted the seeds for a career in performance, showing him that communication could take many forms and that creativity could transform a personal challenge into a strength. Academic excellence. Despite the challenges in speech, Rowan excelled academically, showing particular talent in mathematics and science. He pursued these interests with dedication, eventually attending Newcastle University to study electrical and electronic engineering, graduating in 1975. To teachers and peers, he seemed destined for a stable, intellectual career in engineering or research, and the world of comedy appeared distant and impractical. Yet beneath the surface, his passion for performance remained, quietly guiding him toward a path that would merge intellect, discipline, and creativity. Oxford and early comedy. Rowan continued his studies at the Queen's College, Oxford, where he pursued postgraduate work and began to explore the performing arts more seriously. Oxford offered a space where he could balance both his academic and creative interests, and he joined the Drama Society and student review groups. Here, his approach to comedy began to take shape, blending precision, physicality, and subtlety. It was also where he met writer Richard Curtis, forging a collaborative partnership that would play a crucial role in his early career. Discovering physical comedy. From the start, Rowan's comedy leaned heavily on physical expression. Inspired by performers such as Buster Keaton and Jacques Tati, he explored timing, gesture, and facial expression with a meticulous, almost scientific approach. He realized that humor did not depend solely on clever lines. It could also emerge from movement, reaction, and controlled absurdity. This style became his hallmark, enabling him to communicate complex emotions and ideas without relying entirely on speech and giving him a distinct edge as a performer. Early performances. In 1976, Rowan performed with the Oxford Revue at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, gaining early exposure outside of the university setting. While audience reactions were mixed, those who recognized his originality saw a performer of rare discipline and skill. Following his studies, he faced the practical challenge of translating his talent into a career, navigating auditions and early television opportunities with persistence, refining his skills even when wider recognition was slow to come. Crafting characters. During these early years, Rowan realized a crucial insight. When he fully embodied a character, the stutter and self-consciousness that sometimes accompanied speech diminished. Characters provided freedom and confidence, allowing him to express ideas and emotions without self-doubt. This approach became central to his work, transforming perceived limitations into creative strengths and shaping a unique style that blended physicality, expression, and wit. First breakthroughs. Rowan's first significant public recognition came in 1979 through a BBC radio series where he portrayed multiple fictional characters. While the show reached a limited audience, it showcased his versatility and originality. Around the same time, collaborations with fellow performers from Oxford provided a supportive environment to grow his craft, refine timing, and experiment with unconventional humor, reinforcing his belief in the power of creativity and persistence. Edinburgh Fringe and television opportunities. Returning to the Edinburgh Fringe in 1979, Rowan presented a largely silent performance driven by physical comedy and mime. Audience reactions were mixed, but his work captured the attention of industry professionals, demonstrating the discipline, creativity, and potential of his approach. Soon after, opportunities in television arose, though early pilots and projects met with skepticism. Each setback was met with dedication and resilience, shaping both his work ethic and his understanding of performance as a craft requiring precision and care. The sketch show that changed everything. After persistent effort, Rowan was cast in a sketch show for the BBC. Initially met with cautious reception and mixed reviews, the program gradually gained traction as audiences began to appreciate its sharp wit and unconventional style. One particularly memorable sketch, involving exaggerated physical comedy, became iconic, showcasing his skill in drawing laughter through expression and timing rather than dialogue alone. This show marked the turning point in his career, establishing Rowan as a distinct and innovative voice in comedy. The pursuit of perfection. Even as recognition grew, Rowan maintained high standards for himself and his work. Long hours of rehearsal, precise timing, and careful attention to detail were essential, and the process required both focus and stamina. Success did not come without effort, but it was this dedication to craft that enabled his performances to resonate so deeply with audiences worldwide. Reinvention and new projects. Rather than relying solely on early success, Rowan explored new creative avenues, co-creating a historical sitcom that allowed him to experiment with narrative and comedic rhythm. The initial series faced challenges, but through careful refinement and collaboration, the project evolved into a critically acclaimed show celebrated for its wit, timing, and emotional depth. The series demonstrated Rowan's ability not just to entertain but to innovate, merging humor with thoughtful storytelling in a way that engaged audiences on multiple levels. Emotional depth in comedy. At its finest, Rowan's work balanced humor with subtle emotional resonance. Some projects explored themes of humanity, camaraderie, and even loss, providing moments that were both funny and poignant. Through this blend, Rowan showed that comedy could be meaningful, offering insight into the human condition while delivering laughter, and highlighting his talent not just for physical humor, but for connecting with audiences in a deep and lasting way. Global recognition. In 1990, Rowan introduced the world to the character that would become his global signature. The nearly silent figure relied on expressive gestures, timing, and subtle facial cues, making the humor accessible across cultures and languages. The character's minimal dialogue reflected Rowan's lifelong understanding of communication through action, proving that performance could transcend words. This role propelled him to international fame, solidifying his status as one of the most recognized and beloved comedians in the world. The demands of iconic roles. While audiences enjoyed effortless laughter, Rowan's performances required intense physical and mental focus. Each scene demanded precision, timing, and control, and the cumulative effort could be draining. Despite this, he maintained commitment to excellence, balancing creative satisfaction with personal well-being, and learning to adapt the character through other mediums such as animation or special appearances to sustain energy and maintain quality. Life away from the spotlight. Away from cameras and stages, Rowan cultivated a private and reflective life. He married and raised children, keeping his family life largely shielded from public attention. This balance allowed him to pursue work with care and intention while preserving personal space, demonstrating a thoughtful approach to managing fame and maintaining well-being. Courage and integrity. Throughout his life, Rowan has displayed courage and integrity beyond performance. He has advocated for freedom of expression, valued open dialogue, and acted decisively in critical situations, showing presence of mind and calm under pressure. These moments reflect a character shaped by intelligence, observation, and empathy, revealing the depth of the person behind the performer. Reflection and self-awareness. Despite accolades and international recognition, Rowan has remained humble and reflective, often questioning his work and evaluating his choices. This self-awareness, rooted in both childhood and career experiences, has guided his decisions, ensuring that projects align with personal values and sustainable practices, and reinforcing a lifelong commitment to balance and thoughtful engagement with his craft. Celebrating a legacy. As Rowan reaches 70, his work continues to resonate with audiences old and new. His characters remain instantly recognizable, and his approach to comedy, a blend of observation, precision, physicality, and empathy, remains influential. Rather than focusing solely on fame, Rowan's legacy reflects a careful curation of creative effort, the pursuit of meaningful expression, and the ability to turn personal challenges into art. Quiet strength and human resilience. Rowan Atkinson's life story is one of resilience, adaptation, and ingenuity. He did not seek to erase his stutter or fears, but rather to live with them, transforming vulnerability into creativity. Through discipline, intelligence, and compassion, he turned personal challenges into avenues for connection and joy, making audiences laugh while maintaining integrity and authenticity. His journey reminds us that true success is not measured by accolades alone, but by the courage to embrace one's unique path, the persistence to grow, and the grace to evolve with humanity and humility.